Ladies and gentlemen, welcome yet again to a wonderful night of D&D. Tonight is the Evernight Saga, Session 6. Oh, a lot has happened since we were last together. When we had all joined for our last adventure, some very key moments had happened. Allie and Ivan, their bodies had been deformed and turned into giant creatures, the likes of which were known as the Harbingers of Death. Our allies had managed to literally beat them into submission and force them to disperse, causing them all to be pulled down into the Underrealm, where we find them now within the manner of a very well-to-do, though very ancient Aarakocra. Dressed in light pinstripe suit, fedora, large feather upon the cap, sitting upon his throne with his walking stick braced against the ground. You all have had an opportunity to at least adjust to the Underrealm itself, and that is where we begin our adventure today. Our first perspective for the day, Mycella. You will help us start our adventure for today. Now, this is your first time within the Underrealm. Would you care to do an investigation roll to see what it is you notice?
17.
DM got a 3. So, on your successful investigation roll, your eyes kind of blink a little bit and they start to zone in a little. You'll get almost like a perfect 3D map of the area. This is a large marble-esque style foyer to a manor. There's a water fountain, although there seems to be the embossment of suffering and pain in the people that are holding up the central fountain structure itself. You can see that there's alabaster, stone, and marble-floored inlays. The gentleman at the far side, sitting upon his throne, is quite old. Normally, Aarakocra don't live to this age, but you can see he seems to be doing well enough if the aid of his cane is by indication he still needs some assistance. You almost can feel the air of power and authority around this man. And as your eyes take in the rest of the realm, you see that there's varying scenes that change in the distance. At one point, it looks to be a tropical oasis. The next, it's a land of pain and fire. Whatever it is, the will of Draven controls this realm. And you find yourself in here. So, where do you address yourself today? You do have your usual components: roleplay, movement, and combat when applicable.
I want to pretty much just ask the Aarakocra in front of me, what am I doing here? Why did you bring me here?
Draven kind of regards you with a tilt of his head, an unnatural turn, very avian-like. Before he stands, adjusting his little lapel, straightening it out before he addresses you.
One of the reasons I brought you here is because destiny itself said I had to. I'll cut it to the quick. You managed to last against the Deathbringers. That means you got potential. And right now, I need all the people I can get. My, let's just call a frustration of a daughter has left me in a situation requiring me to get the best of the best. And well, you just happen to be one of them, little lady. So, here's the deal. You do a little job for me, and I'll offer you a deal you can't regret, let alone pass up.
With that, he pulls a large cigar from the inside of his lapel, strikes it with his thumb that bursts in multicolored flame, starts to chief on it in front of you, watching with a little amused grin at the back of his beak.
I would like to offer my hand and say I'll accept your task. Where should I go? Which way?
He slowly makes his way towards you. You hear the metallic clank of his walking stick across the ground. It's almost as if you can sense the suffering of souls in his very steps as he walks towards you. With an imperial bow, he leans low, placing his beak against your hand in imitation of a kiss, before he steps back.
Well, I don't know if you're speaking for the rest of your friends here, but I got a waiting chamber not far from here to talk over the business as it is. If you want to go ahead and make your way there, be my guest. I've arranged for some refreshments. I'm told your family is well known for enjoying bitterberry juice, so I went ahead and had some procured.
I have not had that in quite some time. Since I left home, actually. Thank you very much.
With that, he kind of tilts forward, the fedora sliding, so he slides it back up when he tilts his head, and he addresses the doorway that appears before you toward your immediate west. Do you choose to enter?
I do.
As you enter, you see it is a very stylishly set dining hall. Large table, various paintings of Aarakocras throughout the generation. Although you seem to notice that Draven is in various pictures in different time frames, long past when one of his age would normally live. You see that there's a large array of various foods and drinks, and much to your surprise, there is indeed the bitterberry juice, a large tankard of it sitting at a smaller chair, as else knowing your dimensions.
I would like to cast Detect Magic.
I was expecting that. Oh no, that's a one. Oh, it hurts so early in the game. No. Oh. Please roll anything on your dice for Detect Magic, and I have a feeling it's going to pass. Ah, it hurts, but in the best ways.
That's a nat 20.
On a nat 20, you see that everything in the entire hall, everything that is around you, aside the food, is resonating with natural magics. The only thing that has magic still lingering in it that is normal to your senses is your bitterberry juice, as that is a natural forming magical plant where you are from. But you can sense that there's magic everywhere. The very realm of the Underland itself is made of magic.
I look around a little warily, and I approach the tankard of bitterberry, and I take a glass.
You are holding a small frosted tankard full of bitterberry juice. The very small floral fragrance coming across your nose. Hints of bayberry, sandalwood, sunlight, and the early harvest hit. Little touches of the spores of the reef side touch you as well, knowing that they actually went to the trouble of getting the natural waters to make this juice. It is exactly as your people make it at home. Almost too perfect a replication.
I squint my eyes over the glass, and I say, "How did you get this? How did you perfect this so well?"
As you say this, you notice there is a butler of sorts standing off to the side. Well dressed, high collar, very nice tailored suit himself. Much to your surprise, you see large pointed ears sticking out around his service cap, and a very angular jaw greets you. One of the Fae are serving in the Underrealm.
What are you doing here?
I'll come to the Underrealm one day. My time simply came sooner.
Would you like help out of here? I mean, you don't belong here.
Young one, we all belong here when our time is done. You're lucky to be
No.
placed in these halls. You
No, we return to the mother. We return to the mother. This is not where I belong.
As I said, you are lucky to be a visitor in these realms. I have paid for my time. And as the butler steps closer to you, you see that there's actual holes riddled through his body. Bits of the skull are missing. Flesh is hanging in places.
Oh, no, I've already cast a spell, so I can't do that again. Hey,
You sense no ill intent from the entity. They mean you no harm.
did you make this?
I gave the recipe to the main cooks, but I cannot taste a thing anymore. It is not my duty to serve as the royal taster, only mine to serve.
Let me ask you this. How did you come upon the recipe? Because I was under the impression it was only among my people.
Why, in my line of work, we are required to go through all dimensional barriers to search for the great, the mighty, and the smart. You are not the first of your kind that I have met, but you are the most recent. You
When was
speak
the
of the
last
Great
one?
Mother. When was what?
When was the last one here?
Time has a funny way of working in the underrealm. When you have passed from the mortal coil, it is hard to tell how many centuries or millennia may pass. Though I do recall, there was a young maiden who passed through these halls. Long flowing hair, sun of gold, wreathed in leaves and twigs of the mother tree. So wise, so small. She left a few of her precious recipes behind before she went to the great beyond. There are some realms even we cannot head into.
You mentioned something about about mother.
The entity, the former elf, kind of shakes a little bit before they reach into their lapel, pulling from the inside of their jacket a small, wizened, ancient branch. But you recognize this better than anyone. He hands the branch to you, gingerly.
I reach out and accept.
In your hands is a piece of the former mother tree when it was very small, though it has aged over time in the underrealm. You know this to be a form of the true mother tree.
May I keep this?
You may. It has always been meant for you.
I clutch it to my chest and I say thank you.
As you gain the small branch, you notice that a sense of calm washes over you, as if a piece of your homeland has finally been restored, one of the missing pieces you have been searching for. With that,
Send up a
we pass
prayer
to our
for the
second
mother.
player for the day.
Absolutely.
Norun. Now, Nor, as you have been taking in the underrealm around you, noticing that there's various flames, the sound of suffering and pain is drowned out, as you can hear various whispers of the past throughout the flames of the underrealm itself. The very nature of flame has been calling to you. Do you wish to interact with the voice of the ancients?
I do.
Roll for me a d10 to see what happens. Do better than a 3 if you want something good to happen.
Well, maybe if I didn't almost throw it off of my rolling platform. This happens every episode, I
Here
swear
we
to
go
God.
again. Every week! No, it's all right.
Literally
You got
every
an
week.
8.
What you mean? It's not even a joke. But I rolled an 8.
As you are connecting with the spirit, thank you for letting me know you rolled that 8. DM whiffed it yet again. Oh, beautiful. As you are connecting with the spirit of the ancients and you are feeling the flames of the underrealm around you, ancient knowledge slowly flows into your mind. Voices of your own ancestors, those who were there during the birth of the primordial flame, those who were there during the birth of the flame of the underrealm itself, begin whispering ancient secrets into your ear. Your eyes begin to roll and your body sways in time to an invisible tune. As the knowledge settles in, you have gained access to 2 spells that you may use once per session.
Where's my
You
pencil?
now gain access to Vicious Mockery. So once per session, in reaction, you can cast Vicious Mockery for free, and you gain access to something known as Spectral Flame. Whenever you go to cast one of your flame-based spells, you may add an additional 1d6 of fire damage. And this does include the Blade of Suitor.
Oh, I need you to repeat that. I can only write so fast. I got Vicious Mockery, but
Whenever you cast... All right, so you get access to a different type of flame. All right. So with this new access to the flames, right, this is like ancient knowledge being passed to you by wielders of various types of flame. This is the spectral flame. When you wield it, you may add an additional 1d6 to your fire damage. This is whenever you use a fire-based spell. Okay? But it's not just the knowledge of spells that's transferred to you. There's a piece of land that slowly begins to build a mental map in your mind. Tall mountains with frosted peaks, large trees of coniferous pine, fields of continuous types of flowers, both snapdragons of large renown, and small little clusters of nightshade and gilderberry. You see small huts and large temples, a shrine enshrouded in the trees, a small island adrift in a sea of danger and death. Keep this in your mind. This may come in handy later. The Aarakocra, sitting off in the distance, watching everyone, has his eyes trained on you, almost with a knowing look. He kind of bangs his gavel on the ground 3 times. A little imp-like creature strolls out with a piece of paper on a tray. Do you choose to accept?
Yes.
You see that it is a very roughly drawn map. And at the top, you see the name, Sawtooth Spire. And marked with a little X with a circle in the corner, you see what is known as Gold Cap Mine. There are no written directions. There are no instructions. Simply the X and the circled area and the already identified areas. Nothing else is written on the map. But it's almost as if you know where you need to go.
He gently folded it up and put it into his tunic.
Lovely. What else would you like to do?
Investigation!
Absolutely. Please. Overcome the challenge of a 17 in order to gain some more information about the world.
Hey, 18!
One-up syndrome at its finest. You see that the realm itself has kind of settled into this almost rhythmic pattern of showing what is nice and what is terrible, what is enjoyment and what is suffering. You see that the manor itself stays in its perfectly pristine state at all times. You know that there's a side chamber and you can smell various cooked goods, smells of sweet breads and wines, almost as if a feast of sorts has been laid out, as if waiting for others to attend. You hear various, attendees, maintenance people, various entities living their unlives within the manor. And at the very center is Draven, watching it all with an almost gleeful smirk and a twinkle in his eye. The entire realm seems to bend to his whim.
Can I walk up to Draven?
You notice even your own flames react. You certainly can. He is not far away from you, standing about 10 foot away from his throne, which will be about 15 foot away from you. What do you choose to do since you are approaching?
Norun is flipping a coin as he does normally. He does it often. Tell me, do you have blood mead?
I got a little bit of everything from across the universe, but for a cultured man of yourself,
To which he references the various flames still licking off of your form every now and then.
I do believe I have something of a particular nature prepared for you. Though I'm told your people tend to hold it in high regard.
I'm assuming you will have one of your servants show me the way.
Good thinking. I wouldn't want you to wander off somewhere and, burn a hole in my manor.
With that, he snaps his talons together from one of his hands, and a small little imp-like creature with reverse bent horns walks up to you, tugging gently upon your tunic and pointing towards the open doorway, where you can smell the fragrance of a feast.
Norun follows the imp-like creature with the backwards horn.
You walk... I figured. After a couple of moments, the little guy kind of leads you to the door where you see Mycella is already nursing a frosty mug with what appears to be a very floral, fragrant drink of sorts. You've never smelled anything like it yourself, but you know it is very sweet in the air. What draws your attention, however, is a small burning urn set at a place with a metallic chair built of flames. Within this urn are glowing golden berries, the likes of which you've only ever heard of from your family of myth. You know these to be the fruits of ambrosia.
He goes to the
Even
chair.
the gods themselves have spoken of and taken of these. You go to the chair.
He sits on the chair.
As you sit upon the chair, you notice that the flames kind of come to life around you. The chair almost feeling like it's an extension of your will of sorts. It is inert. The glowing berries call to your attention, their luminance literally drawing you in, almost in a hypnotic sense. But you still have your wits about you. You are not being compulsed.
He gently takes one of the berries and just pops it into his mouth.
As you sample one of the berries, you feel a rush of energy flow through you. It's almost as if the feeling of the sun itself is a light in your veins. You get a temporary +1 to your AC. You have gained the buff Ambrosia. This allows you the temporary 1d6 HP per turn in combat. This will last for 2 sessions, so you have it for this one and the next week. As you recline in your chair, you hear the clacking of heels upon stone, swishing of cloth and fabric in the air. As you turn your head, an ethereal figure, spectral-like, almost made of dancing flame itself, wanders through the hall. Silently, they gild through the air, almost ignoring all presence around them, before they fade through one of the outward doors.
Fascinating. Another being of flame.
Perhaps. Now that you've imbibed in one of the berries of ambrosia, what would you like to do?
Norin plucks a few more and puts them into his pocket. You can never be too careful. That and
I'll allow you to
because,
put up to
hey,
3 in your inventory for use later.
only 3 for
Truth. I'll
use.
allow you to keep up to 3 of those in your inventory.
You see
Yeah,
that.
no. You're the only being so far that could
For
eat
use.
those safely.
Any others, I wouldn't want to use them for use. It's just tasty.
No, I'm aware of this. Just keep in mind, you're the only person that could currently touch those due to your ancestry. Otherwise, bad things would happen.
What would happen to anyone else?
You'd have to find out. But that would bring us to our third person for the day. Niram! Now, once you had been dealing with a bunch of obsidian squirrels with your ally Mycella, you now find yourself in the Underrealm within a beautifully well-kept manor. The smells of various cooked meats and charred vegetables wafts in from a nearby doorway. A large Aarakocra sits not far from you upon his throne after speaking with a few of your other allies, almost amused at everyone's interaction in the realm of the dead. What do you do, Niram?
I look around.
Investigation roll?
Investigation.
Yep. Do better than a 15, please.
17.
The Underrealm is consistent of various little pockets that you can see. Some are in various types of paradise-like environments, and others are souls being tormented and made to suffer. You see that the living and the dead seem to have this unusual harmony in this land. For every person you see that is of good condition, there's equally as many undead bodies crawling. The very realm itself is being controlled by he who is known as Draven, the entity before you, as a matter of fact, the large Aarakocra at the end of the hall. To your immediate west, you can see that there is an open archway, and that is where the smells of good foods and sweet wines are wafting.
I make my way towards the smell.
Your nose is drawing you. Very easily, you make your way through the open archway, seeing that there's a large buffet table spread out with various types of meat, vegetables, plucked berries, and different types of fruits. Tankards of wine and mead and various other sweet drinks all align. Your eyes are drawn in particular to something. Known to only be hunted by even the greatest of brave from your homeland. You see that there's something known as dusk-maned mutton. The ram that this creature is normally, seen in your homeland are a couple of stories tall and known to be savage and hard to hunt. But here's an entire rack of its ribs, literally splayed out and slathered in some type of regional smelling sap. It reminds you of home. The smell of chestnut and the crush of pine and leaves, kind of in the air.
I take off my glove, my left glove, and I start touching the food.
Nothing bad happens when you make contact.
I pick one up and I just eat it.
As you grab one of the ribs and you sink your teeth in, almost against your will, a small tear forms in the corner of your eye, for it tastes like home cooking. It very easily passes through. You eat almost the entire rack without thought. You gain a temporary plus 20 to your HP and a plus 1 to your AC. Nothing bad happens from eating the mutton. In fact, it's almost like you have a sense of accomplishment, for those of your homeland have spoken well and highly of those who have managed to fell the beast, let alone taste its meat. Almost the stuff of legends. It leaves a certain taste in the back of your mouth. A refinement you've never had before, but also the remnants of wild, of nature. Your eyes are drawn to a small vial set on the table within a little holder. It has a bubbling concoction within. It smells of nettle wine.
I start grabbing each bottle and putting it into my pouch.
You have 2 vials of nettle wine. They are in unbreakable vials that are within your pouch.
Perfect. I look around, see if anybody's around me.
There is Norun and Mycella around you currently. Everybody else is still in the main foyer.
I lift up one of the bottles and I offer them a drink.
So I put about 6 minutes on the clock and let you wild and crazy youngsters have some fun.
Yeah.
6 minutes on the clock. Your time begins now.
I lift up my mask just a little bit. Would you like some wine?
Sure. Would you like to try some juice?
Of course not. I would love some.
I would try a sip of both, but I do believe it is better to not share what I have with you. It could lead to some unseen consequences.
What exactly is this?
Ambrosia.
Ambrosia. I've never heard of this before. Interesting.
Is disastrous for anyone outside of someone of my bloodline, I guess you could call it, to consume.
Yeah, I will definitely take them away from that then. And I pour a glass of wine and shoot it back.
Norun also takes some wine. Who would have thought?
Yes, who would have? Most people that would drink this do not survive, but are not drown.
And you tell me this now after I've already drank it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're still standing. So what does that tell you?
Norun just shrugs and just chugs it. Just chugs some.
Like a stubborn young
Nothing ill
drow.
happens from imbibing of the nettle wine. To my players that have imbibed of the nettle wine, nothing bad happens. I return your time.
I offer forward my tankard to the both of y'all.
Norun just takes a small sip. He's not greedy.
Oh, drink more than that. There's plenty to go around. And after all,
Narandas drinks it.
I do know how to make this.
Well, yes, but in this particular
Time is
scenario,
paused. Oh yeah, time's paused on the clock because both of you imbibed of the magical drink known as bitterberry juice. Those that are not of the Evernight realm have unusual effects happen when they imbibe of foods or drink from that realm. So, special modified WoW magic table. Here we go. Nodrun, as you are there at the flamed chair, enjoying yourself, you feel an unusual weight start to settle upon the opposite side of your hip. As you rest your hand there, you feel the pummel of another blade, but it doesn't feel right to you. It doesn't respond to your flame. In fact, it feels cold. Unnaturally cold. Or at your waist, there is a blade of sheer ice. I rolled invert element, and the closest thing to you is your sword. So you now have an ice blade. And that means I need to roll for Niram. Niram.
Yes.
Well, you know how you're normally decked out in a nice cloak and it kind of you
Yeah.
you are currently encased in a solid sheet of glass-like armor. It literally mimics plate mail. Your movement speed has not been affected, but you are covered in glass armor.
So people can see what I'm wearing underneath.
No. See, they
Oh,
can't
okay, that's
see
what I was
anything
about to
hiding
say.
underneath. Your normal
I was
garb
about
is
to say.
yeah, it's no, I didn't do that to you. No, so your garb is literally underneath the glass armor. It's almost like you're wearing a continuous suit of flexible glass. It doesn't even crinkle
Oh,
when it makes noise. It's just covering you.
thank God, because I was about to say, Naran doesn't wear anything underneath his clothes, his robe.
I would not do that to you. Funny as that is, I did not do that to you. But no, you're now encased in solid glass, and it doesn't seem to have a way to come off. You don't see a seam or feel any flaw in it.
I just look at my outfit.
I resume. Oh god, I returned the time to you guys. You got about 3 minutes left. Have fun with it.
So I'm seeing this glass, correct, CM?
Can I ask what happened to my blade?
What am I wearing?
You're wearing glass.
Should I move quick? Would it break?
I'm not certain. I do know that there is something wrong with my sword. It's made of ice. It shouldn't be.
What is this? I look at Maricela. What has your drink done to me?
I'm not quite sure. It doesn't do that to me. So
If I had to guess,
new.
it is due to the fact that we are not from your part, but we did take a sip, or I took a sip, he just drank it, of what your drink is. I'm assuming, like how mine has consequences, this is just an effect to someone of not where you are, drinking a drink from where you are.
If this only does have effect, and I swear, if it doesn't wear off, I will gut you. I will feed your intestines to Loth, and I will feed your soul to Dendar.
You have to catch me first.
Not going to do what he did, but I will be very mad, but not enough to harm you. For my blade turning to ice when I'm a flame person. I use flames.
I take out my dagger and I would like to approach Niram and see if like I can. I'm gonna try something.
What is it you wish to try? You're right on time for your literal roleplay time to end. So, thank you for the immaculate timing, Marcella. What are you wanting to do?
Oh man, I don't think any of my mushrooms will work. Screw it. Let me see what color that is before I say the wrong thing.
You got it.
I don't know. I'm gonna try this. It seems really silly, but you know what? We're gonna stab in with the dagger, and it's gonna turn orange, and it casts on off. And I'm really hoping that this is gonna work.
The challenge to shatter the enchanted glass armor that's covering your ally is a 10.
17.
Oh, not even an issue. Your blade kind of literally dances within your fingers for a second before you thrust it forward. The orange like glow surrounding it. You impact the glass. You almost hear a perfect crystalline chime before cracks start to spread out all along the armor. As Niram goes to move just a little bit and make just a half of a second's movement just to adjust, all of the glass goes flying off him with high force. What is your dexterity?
Like, my dex is a 16.
Not a single piece of glass manages to land on you. As I rolled 4 d20s to try and see if I could hit a 16, and I rolled a 3, 4, 5, and a 7. So 4 major hunks of glass go flying past you, literally in an almost perfect outline of your body, as they impact upon one of the kind of glowing walls of the manor. The glass armor has been shattered. Niram is no longer covered from head to toe. Very good work.
Well, what do we do about my blade? The glass armor seems simple enough, but my blade is kind of...
I've got you. Just give me a minute. I need to just give me a minute.
As you are kind of trying to address the situation before you, our eye in the sky kind of changes to a different perspective. Alone, out in the middle of the woods, is an adventurer, making their way, looking for edible flora and fauna in order to survive on. It is unfortunate for them that they come upon a very unusual shaped tree. As their hand makes contact with the tree, it glows an ominous black light before the entity is pulled through. Releasing a very confused holler and shout, they come crashing to the dimensional barrier, only to land on one corner of a large buffet table covered in various types of extravagant foods and wines. Disrupting the conversation at hand, bits and pieces of food and cutlery go flying into the air, as this entity takes a moment to groan from the impact and pain. Ichiro, where once you were foraging through the woods looking for things to survive on, you unfortunately find yourself landing in the very center of a very opulent dinner. Thankfully, though, you landed at the most sparse end of the table, where barely anything has managed to get on you. At most, a little bit of dust and debris from the forest where you previously were. Well, how is it you choose to address the world you now find yourself in?
Oh my god, where the hell am I? It's gonna try
Would
to
you like
get
to
up
do
and
an
look
investigation
around.
roll?
Yeah, actually. It's the 20, right?
As you are dusting your... Yeah, it's a nat 20 plus your investigation bonus, which you should see in your character sheet. Challenge to overcome is going to be a 17.
Okay.
No worries.
Okay.
Wouldn't be D&D without technical difficulties.
That was a 5 plus 2, that's... Oh no. I see my hand.
That's a 7. Okay, you can see that you are in a very opulently decorated hall. There's pictures all along the walls. There's all types of beautiful cutlery and wide expanses of food. You can see there's a small group of people that are conversing, but you cannot for the life of you understand the nature of the room you have found yourself in, nor how you found yourself here. You're just watching these three have a casual conversation, sipping on wines or drinks, eating food, and you're just there, just kind of in the environment, trying to take it all in. Your eyes are drawn to the buffet, lined with a large mass of foods and various types of wines and drinks. Do you choose to take anything or imbibe any drinks?
Considering that my boy don't know what or that magic exists, yeah, I think I'm gonna probably grab a snack or something. As he's like grabbing just a random thing off the table. First I get lost in the woods. After I lose my job. Now I'm in... I don't even know where the hell this is. How do I keep winding up in these situations?
Well, hey, there's free food.
Yeah, not gonna complain about
I'm going
that.
to roll to see what dish you grab. All right. Your hand absentmindedly lands upon a long wooden skewer with three very vibrantly colored, almost sweetened dough balls on the end. You know from your culture that this dish is known as miturashi dango.
Give me some
And
dango.
good for any time snack. However, in your haste to grab it, you knock over a bubbling vial of liquid, which quickly eats a small hole in the table. You see a small imp-like creature run over, kind of muttering in its own demonic language before releasing a small beam of white light. And much to your surprise, the table is repaired in front of you before the little impling wanders off, grumbling its own little nature about having to repair things all the time.
He's gonna like back away looking absolutely terrified.
You have roleplay and you have movement still on the table if you wish. So there are a couple of individuals in the nearby area to you if you wish to roleplay, or movement if you wish to leave the room.
I walk up to the three talking in the room and try to figure out what the hell's going on.
There are three entities in the room. I would like for you to roll me a d6. 1 and 2 will be Niram. 3 and 4 will be Norun. 5 and 6 will be Mycella.
That is a 6. Oh, sure, I rolled good on
That
that.
would be
not on the
Mycella.
20.
Welcome to
Yeah.
D&D, the very definition of luck and roll. And speaking of luck roll, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you guys can keep aware of what's going on with our campaigns every week. Can't wait to bring even more stories for your entertainment. But yes, you rolled a 6. That would be Mycella on the clock. I'm going to put 4 minutes on the stopwatch. Have fun with it, you two.
Hello? You wouldn't happen to know where I am, would you?
We're in the underground or something they call it. I'm not quite sure. I'm a above ground dweller from Evernight. Where are you from?
Definitely not here. I just saw some weird demon-looking thing fix the table.
Yeah, here. Have some juice.
Oh, no. Sorry, out of character. Sure, yeah. Why not? I'm so confused.
Time has paused on the clock. Are you imbibing of the bitterberry juice?
Might as well.
All right. Wild magic from the DM. Here we go. Let's see what fate bestows upon you today. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh. As the bitterberry juice kind of washes over your taste buds, and you kind of get this nice little, oh, I like that. All of the tension leaves your body as you have been hit with a wave of pacification. You cannot take any aggressive action for, gotta roll my 1d4 for how many turns? 2 turns. You cannot take a single aggressive action even if you are in combat.
Got high as shit, day one. Way to go.
You have, like, Even your eyes begin to roll a little bit as you like kind of sigh back into your chair. You don't have a single worry in the world. Magic? What's magic? The underrealm? You don't know what it is. The forest? Where was the forest? I don't see any trees. You have not a singular care in the world currently as this sinks in. And I return your time to you now.
Oh no.
Well, you look calmer. Did the trick,
What?
didn't it? Yeah, you just
Whoa.
sit down, dearie. Take a load off.
I feel weird. Okay.
It'll wear off in a little bit. I promise.
I'm Ichiro, by the way, but you can call me Ichan.
Ah, it's very nice to meet you. You may call me Marcella.
You might want to remind me in a bit. I don't think I'm a remember.
Just call me whatever you like then.
He's gonna like walk over to the chair and just flop backwards.
Mentioning the dice goblin, don't forget you can get some quality dice for your game, and maybe you can roll better than this terrible DM does with some quality dice. Speaking of which, you guys might be in trouble because the dice I got from the goblin recently are rolling better than you can imagine. So, better strap in.
Dice? What dice?
You hear a little voice in the back of your head. Make sure you roll high. You're too high to tell what that voice is. Okay.
Whoa.
That is
I'm hearing
perfect.
things.
That is perfect. Thank you, you two.
Happy to
Ichiro,
oblige.
you have been pacified by this alcoholic tonic, but you sense no danger. Nothing bad is happening. Like it's like the perfect environment for you to find yourself in. So as your mind is relaxing and mulling over this enjoyable kind of floaty feeling the alcohol is causing, make sure you add a plot point. And make sure, Marcella, you add one as well, because that is gorgeous. Thank you. So, you kind of settle back into the chair. If you would, do for me an investigation roll. See if you notice anything out of the usual. Okay?
Am I at disadvantage?
No, you currently are not. Due to the pacification, though you cannot take any aggressive action, your higher functions are not currently being involved or imbibed. So, you are not impaired. Challenge is 14.
Hey, alright, 16.
On that 16, you notice that the lady you've been speaking with is almost of elvish descent. Fairly tall for her species, wrapped in leather tunics, various tight brocade, got weapon belts on the side. You can see there's a nice quiver strapped to their back. You see, there's a very well-to-do dressed gentleman that seems to have some bulging biceps and large fists off in the corner. You see that there's a gentleman that was recently encased in a glass-like armor, now seems to be in his normal traveling robes. A gentleman that's normally draped in flames, although their very nature seems to be impacted a little bit. And at their waist sits two blades, one of wreathed in flame and one cold as ice. You see that the manor itself is very well to do, very well maintained. And outward, through a doorway, you can hear a slight bit of muffled conversation, as if someone is talking to someone else at a distance.
Whoa, trippy. Oh yeah! I've got food!
Yes, you have your Mitarashi Dango. Do you choose to eat it?
Might as well. May as well go all in at
Nothing
this
bad
point.
happens. It's one of the best you have ever had in your life. It is better than the cooks back at the Wushu province could ever make.
Nice.
This is the type of dango that people have told of in legend.
Why couldn't I get this back home? Where even is home? Oh well. Oh yeah! I've got food!
As you are nomming on your food and enjoying yourself, our eye in the sky goes back to the main courtyard, just inside the foyer of Draven's mansion, where our eyes are drawn to one Mirth. Mirth! What's going on, buddy? How do you take in the underwhelm around you? Because last we've been together, you gave a very mutated body the punchline, and it landed.
it deserved it. So yeah, I want to just look around, see if anything seems out of place
All
in
right.
the area.
Investigation roll on the table. Do that's a nat 20 for the DM.
All right, great.
You're dying. Come on, hit me with it.
Those
I
those
bet you
dang
can
dice
match me
goblin dice
somehow.
are too good.
I know they're rolling amazing. I almost feel bad. Keyword almost. But
Yeah,
seriously,
no, that's
let's see if you
11.
can match.
That's an 11. It's an 11.
You can't notice that anything unusual is happening. Then again, you've never been to the Underrealm, so trying to tell what's unusual or what's normal is kind of, 50-50, right? However, you do notice that there is a rippling, almost distortion in the air that you could easily interact with if you so chose to.
And do I see the Aarakocra there as well, or no?
Yes, you do see the large Aarakocra just kind of watching everybody with an almost satisfied smirk on his face as one by one individuals head towards the main dining hall.
All right, well, I'm going up to the Aarakocra and asking, what the hell am I doing here?
You walk up to the Aarakocra, the hooves, beneath your feet kind of clack and clack upon the stonework. And as you draw closer, you start to begin the height difference between you gets a lot more distorted as you approach. Because this is a 10-foot tall Aarakocra, all right?
Mhm.
So you get close, and you say what to the Aarakocra?
What the hell am I doing here?
Well, unless you weren't listening earlier, I've been pulling some people for a very important job. And, one of your allies has already passed the first test. Whether you wanted to be a part of it or not, well, you traveled with them, so, guilt by association and all that jazz. But nah, seriously, I need some of the best for what's going on here. You think you're up to snuff?
Always, but just know if this ends badly, I'm the sort that leaves metaphors and broken bones behind me.
You'd probably get along better with my daughter with an attitude like that, but I think we can still come to a mutual agreement. If you would, my good man, there's an entire smorgasbord of food prepared for you off to the side. So, feel free to imbibe while you're here. Though, if you're in a hurry to get back to your home realm, I'd go ahead and take the dimensional warp there. You can easily step up, enter the distortion, and get back to where you came from. I wouldn't want to hold you from your important work.
Yeah, that's pretty tempting. But I have a rule that I don't need anything offered by someone whose feathers twitch when they lie, and I just walk off.
I suppose I can appreciate your stance, though I ain't twitching with nothing there, hoof man.
I ignore him. I keep going.
And where are you heading towards?
I'm going to go into the dining room where everyone else is, but I'm not going to eat or drink anything.
I understand. You cross the archway and you see there's this large buffet style laid out table, right? With meals everywhere. There's all kinds of food, there's all kinds of drinks, there's vials of wine, caskets of mead, all kinds of stuff. Some of your allies have already been imbibing. You see some of them eating and nibbling away. You even see a new person who has come to the realm, sitting at the end of the table in an almost pacified like state with a goofy smile etched upon it. What do you choose to do?
I would just go and post up in a corner, like crossing my arms and just watching what goes on and seeing if I can see any shady things going on by like the little imps or any of the critters running around.
Funny you mentioned shady things going on. Roll for me an investigation with advantage. I'll give you a +2 to your roll for this one, okay?
Wheat. That is going to be in 19.
DM rolled a 2. Oh, DM rolled a 2, so you were good. You were good. You see that a small handful of imps seem to be, dragging something along the ground. A long black bag that seems to be wriggling in certain places. One of the imps looks up at you, pantomiming the word, kind of like hush, quiet. while the rest of them pick up the body bag and start dragging it down the hall.
Oh, I immediately go and I snatch the body bag from their hands.
This is going to be a strength check against the 3 imps. Okay, so the first one rolled a 5. What is your strength stat?
+3.
No, I mean, what's the actual stat number?
6,
Not your bonus.
16.
16, okay, so the first one whiffed. Second one rolled a nat 20 on the strength against you. So I'll let you do a flat roll off against it. And the third one whiffed on a 1. Okay, so it's literally just you and this one imp in a tug of war with the body bag. Okay, this is a flat D20 roll against the DM. If you win, you get the bag. If you don't, the bag tears.
Alright, it's 11.
That's a 2 for the DM. Alright, the imp, after using all of its strength, cannot hold on anymore. Like, the fingers just let loose. And the imp goes rolling down the alleyway, like, down the hallway, away from you. Like, the force of trying to hold on was enough that its own body kept the momentum. You were now holding the body bag. It was trying to clutch on for dear life.
I unzip it.
You unzip the body bag. Immediately, the wails of the undead begin to release from inside the bag as blackened winds and darkened lightning begin to exude. And a skeletal-like hand begins to emerge from inside the bag.
Let's see. I say shit. I try to launch the bag at the Aarakocra.
You're going to try and throw the bag into Raven?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so your strength stat is a 16, so you're going to have to roll higher than your own strength stat just to pick up the body bag first. Then we'll address you trying to throw it at Raven and what that could mean.
Alright, I got a dirty 20.
Okay, so without an issue, you're able to huff body bag, even with the lightning and the billowing smoke starting to pour out of it. And the arm starts trying to reach out at you while you pick it up, but it's just not quite in enough range to grab at your flesh.
Perfect. And then
Now,
on the second
the
roll,
challenge to hit the Oh no! Okay, what is your roll?
I rolled an 18, then my strength is +3, so it'd be a 21.
DM rolled a 1. DM rolled a nat 1!
That's it.
So you kind of like John McEnroe style with this bag, like you throw the perfect spiral. The smoke is trailing behind it. The lightning is going off in this cascade of death and destruction. The Aarakocra sees the bag coming towards him, and you see the eyes start to widen and the mouth begins to open. You hear him start to phrase, "What the heck?" Impact with the bag. So there's just an explosion of dark shadows and metric ton of tentacles, right? Lightning is cascading off of all the walls. You all see like the imprint of the bird underneath it before all of it begins to revert. The smoke starts to pull backwards into the bag. The shadowy limbs and tentacles start to revert inward. The skeletal limb gets sucked back up into the bag. You see the Aarakocra literally sealing it with his talon. He is smoking and smoldering in pain. But now he's staring at you. And there is a very, very unsettling look in Draven's face as he identifies the one who hucked the bag at him. What is your armor class?
19.
You're getting hit with a vicious mockery. That's a nat 20.
Yep, sounds right.
I'm going to double damage on that vicious mockery. Okay. Improved vicious mockery, cast at 3rd level. 25 points of damage coming your way.
All right.
As you feel the 25 points of damage flaming.
I take it and I give him a little wink and I go back to my corner.
As you take that damage, you see that there's just like little miniature imp-like structures that are forming from shadows, cussing you out, giving you the finger, insulting you and various stuff on your shoulder as you go and giving the wink, you go off to your corner. So there's just these little imps just like hopping up out of your shadow and assaulting you as you sit there.
Fucking love it. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I expect so. I love the fact that Draven gets smacked in the face by a duffel bag full of death. Oh, thank you, sir. All right, up next, Magnus. Magnus, and when we had last been together, you were unloading various amounts of damage into the twisted and transformed corpses of Ali and Ivan. Now you find yourself within the Underrealm after having watched one of your gracious hosts get hit in the face with a flying bag of chaos and then rebuke said target from across the way with flames of insulting and decadent nature. However, I ask, what do you make of this situation?
I'd like to go up to Draven and like do a kneel that you would do in front of a king, and humbly ask him, "Do you possibly know where your daughter is?"
What is your charisma?
Charisma. Hold on. I hope I rolled a good charisma last time. Hold on. Let me go check.
Here it comes.
I got a 14 plus 1.
So that's a 15 on the charisma roll. Okay, so in order to charm the bird, who was still a little pissed off at having a bag of chaos tossed in his face, understandably so. Oh man, he's not pissed enough though, because that's a 3. So roll anything higher than a 3.
Oh, that's easy.
Like he's mad, but only middlingly so. He's centuries old.
Oh, that's easy for Caesar roll 2. Anyway, no, I got a 19.
On that 19, the man that is Draven kind of notices that you kneel down in a very respectful way, and that kind of draws him back to present. He takes a moment to straighten himself out, getting his composure. He sits back on his chair and he regards you.
Well, at least someone around here has a little bit of show and tell for manners. What is it I can do for you, little man? You're asking about the girl, ain't you?
Yes. If you'd so graciously give me her coordinates.
Look, man, it's gonna be your funeral. Every time I tell someone not to go after us, someone has to go after us. So I ain't even gonna tell you don't. You'll find her in the tallest castle outside of here. Alright? Very tall tower. You can't miss her. The aura of ass just follows. I tell you this in advance. Be careful, my friend. I might be a jerk, but even I don't want to deal with Regretta. That's why she's got her own house.
Before I go, could you give me something that raises, I don't know, charisma in some subtle way?
Or you're asking for it today. First you want to deal with the one I hate dealing with, then you want to get better in her good graces? I've never met one more determined or more insane. I don't know which, but I think I like your mercy.
Gonna have to roll a d10 to see what you get from this. Oh, God. Why?
What did I do?
On the d10 roll, Draven kind of smirks at you before he tosses a golden medallion with the symbol of a pair of lips embossed on it.
If you're gonna try and go after her of all people, you're gonna need every little bit of help you could get. Put this around your neck and you better pray she don't see it. She hates it when Dad gets involved in her quote-unquote matters of the heart. Ugh, gag me with a spoon.
Can I ask what buffs this item gives me?
Gives you +2 to your charisma stat.
Heck yeah, I'll take it. Before I go, this is going to be a. Wait, who's the flame person?
Norun.
Can I ask, like, with melting it down and throwing it in on my gauntlets? possibly like I don't know, like destroy the effect.
I wouldn't say absolutely. I ain't exactly the master of forge work, alright? You get what you get, you don't throw a fit.
Damn it. Anyway, uh, hmm, I like unhinge my jaw and throw it down my throat because I'm not trying to
You're
have
going
it.
to swallow the ambulance?
I'm swallowing it whole.
I mean, things larger than your esophagus. I guess we're gonna have to. Oh god. Okay. Roll for me a d10 to see if anything bad happens for you trying to literally swallow a damn medallion. Oh. Roll better than a
All right, we
6
gotta
on a
get
d10.
9.
It's almost as if it's made out of the finest dessert you've ever experienced in your life. It slides down so smooth. And it tastes very slightly of copper.
Anyway, I stand up, taking a 50 no 90 degree bow before straightening myself back up and straight bolting it towards the tower.
All right, so towards the east, there is a doorway that materializes. You book it through, and you see that there is a very, very large tower. And with every floor that you look higher, you get this worsening feeling of dread and concern as you're starting to see some of the most garish and terrible decor on every floor. Like, it's getting more and more girly pop and pinkish and stuff as you go. It is like the ultimate gentleman's nightmare.
And
Well, you
just
see the tower.
and just full and just it just full hold on, I have to send an image. So this pose right here, I get into this stance right here and just like basically flash step my way all the way up to the top of the tower easy.
If you have a plot point, I will allow you to bend the universe to your will and get up there without needing more movement. Otherwise, it's going to take you 2 movements to do it.
I'm not trying to make a pop point. 2 movements.
All right. I understand. So with the first movement, you are hucking it up them stairs. You make it about 4 or 5 flights up before you inevitably have to take just a moment to catch your breath. That'll be your first movement. As you land on this particular floor, you see that it is covered in unusual decor. There's like fuzzy furniture everywhere. There's an unusual ball that's spinning in the roof, and it's got like a mirrored finish. Trashy music is playing everywhere. The scent of cheap booze is all in the air. It's concerning.
Using the experiences I have of a full life of war, I tune out the music, I tune out the smell, I tune out anything that I might not like, and I just start going back, just start running back up the stairs.
As you are beginning your great climb of destiny, our eye in the sky pops back to the floor yet, where, not far from Draven, is one Nasha. Now, Nasha, when last we had gathered, you literally passed the first layer of test, and Draven had offered you a very lucrative deal. So, going back through the annals of your mind, you realized that Draven had rewarded you with a chance to enter a higher form of the organization for managing to not only bring the broken soul gems, which are both in your possession currently, but for passing the Bringer of Death challenge. He offered you a small scroll, and upon it was a location. Your next target has been selected.
Yeah, I can easily get this done. No problem.
I'm hoping you can. Some of your other compatriots have shown some interest and inclinations, if you know what I mean. Now that we
Yeah.
got rid of some of your more interesting entourage, shall we say, how about you and I get down to business?
Fine by me.
I'll cut it to you straight, little impling. we've had the uppers coming up and coming down. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these Nephilim pricks anymore. They're constantly grabbing up all the young and trying to convert them to the Lord's good will. Blech. And it's
Disgusting.
starting to affect our economy. Well, yeah, how am I supposed to get souls in here if they're trying to send them to the good plane? This place don't run itself after all. I mean, there's always a sucker bored every minute, but they're starting to get smarter.
Mm-hmm.
I got a big one planned for you. Biggest payoff of your existence. I'm offering a
I'm
cool
listening.
million. But here's the catch. I need you to do your particular brand of chaos to, well, let's just say their front line. I've got access to the upper realm, right where all them snobby gods and goddesses like to bunk at night. I want you to set it ablaze. Burn every last bit you can find.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
I'll make sure you're more than amply rewarded. But, here's the thing. I can't give you no angelic weapons or none of that hellfire can stuff. They'll know you're coming a mile away if you got it. You're gonna have to smuggle your own works in.
Seems simple enough.
I got a contact.
Mm-hmm.
Got you an inside man. You're gonna have to make it past the god, but once you're in the front gate, I can get you outfitted.
Sounds good to me.
With that,
Plus,
Draven
I
floats
can
over a
disguise
golden
myself.
pass. You see in front of you, floating very lazily in the air, is a golden pass, if you will, almost inscribed out of materials that your mind cannot even begin to comprehend. But it looks like a scroll. You know you could grab it, but it might even literally damage you in this state. Do you wish to grasp it?
In my tail. Not my hands.
As you grasp, I figured, and as you grasp it with your tail, you feel a slight singeing burn. You take one singular point of radiant damage as the holy nature of this slip fights with your unnatural true nature.
Oh, yeah, that burns. Oh.
I never said, posterity didn't hurt. You're about to head up to where the snobs are. I had to do something, but nobody said growing don't have no pain.
No kidding. Now,
No kidding.
I might want to change my get up just a bit so I don't seem so obvious. Give me just a second.
I had to grab another one of my art pieces for this one.
Where do you want me to put the picture?
Please do, and would you describe what the transformation is like so that our viewers with the eye of the creative mind can see?
Her height doubles. The horns almost snap off as they start to glow and form into a glowing halo. Her natural red skin takes upon an almost tan with glowing tattoos, and her hair shifts into that of a long braided form, and her eyes shift from her natural glow to a teal. And
Impressive
the white
light
marks
work.
on her skin grow to gold.
You see the Aarakocra kind of brace his wings and his talons over his eyes for a minute, watching you transform, before he kind of lets loose like a whistling sound.
Well, I knew you could put on a light show, but who knew the after party would be such fun? They're never gonna know what hit them. Now, I can't guarantee how long I can get you in there. You know how finicky portals are, but look, Get your people together. Get them on board. When all of you are ready, I'll send you up. Remember, it's a one-way ticket. You're getting back on your own.
Don't worry. I'll figure it out, boss.
As her voice now is more
You
still
always
southern twang, but more light and airy than the raspy chaos.
You
Oh,
see
God, I
Draven
love
clack
you.
his staff on the floor. You see Draven for just a moment. He kind of smiles before he clacks that staff of his once, twice. And on the third time, a glowing golden ring forms in the center of the floor. And on the other side, you see golden light, chromatic colors through clouds, and the unfortunate to your senses sound of a choir in the distance, almost grating to your nerves. But the ever-present sound of angelic choirs has entered the realm. You see, it almost has a distorting effect on the various room around Raven. How the nature of the golden light is fighting with the underrealm's natural proclay.
She just holds back a slight gag.
Oh, I'm not gonna get used to that sound. Ugh, disgusting.
I know, it's absolutely horrible. What do you think I use when regret is being a bitch?
Ugh, yeah, that would be a good punishment for. Oh, good. Right, I'll go grab the others, wherever they are.
He points to the open archway where you can literally see the scent trails from food. Like, you can literally see them like they're visible lines in the air drawing towards you.
Figured that's where the mortals would be. They sure do love filling their stomachs.
And she just starts walking that way.
As you slowly make your way out of the room, and you're just outside of earshot, an unusual look of satisfaction crosses Draven's face, and he speaks to himself for just a moment.
Everything is going according to plan. They'll never know the great prophecy is about to unfold. Looking forward to the wild times on the table.
As he's ruminating to himself, we come back to our first person for the day. Norun. So, Nor, you have been in the room with your allies. Some of them have been by some of the food, yourself included. You now have a blade of fire and a blade of ice upon your hip. But how do you take in your allies and what is going on around you, I wonder? Where do you find your mind drawn?
Is Nasha in the room with us now, or?
Nasha is just now coming into the room, and they are not the Nasha you're used to seeing. In fact, everything about them has changed. The only thing that you can tell is if you look at the face close enough, you can see it is indeed Nasha.
I'm gonna be honest to you, it's not looks that matter to Norun. He can feel, so.
I figure, but I'm just putting it on the table. That being said, where do you address your attention the most now that you've noticed that Nasha is making their way in?
Yeah, he walks over to Nasha.
I'll put 4 minutes on the clock and let you two have a little bit of fun with it. Enjoy!
Well, my friends, you definitely look different.
Well, kinda gotta take a look at the part for my next job. So I came to grab all of you all. Got a little, job up top gotta get done real quick.
So, another adventure it is.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. I suppose, because I'm guessing we are going with you. Or at least, if the others aren't, I know that I am.
He wants all of us to go because he don't want me doing this alone, even though he knows how capable I am. Yeah, it's best if we're all doing it together.
I agree. Well, if that is the case, pause the clock real fast, because description time.
Time is paused.
Everyone that is looking at him can see Norun's almost gray, like ash ash, like deep gray, almost volcanic ash, like skin, turn more tan as some orange cracks that he has sprawling along him slowly turn to a deep purple as his flame like hair turns from a gradient of orange to yellow to red to a deep blue to a brighter blue to a deep purple, as a cloak that he has that's always just sitting on his shoulders turns from a deep brown to almost a gold, and his outfit just has a variety of those colors as well.
Time is resumed.
Well, Dorlook the Pot.
Oh, you definitely look like you'd be fitting in with one of the angelic. Oh, look out, angelic type. Sorry, that. Ugh, even talking about makes me want to gag.
I concur. With where I'm from, the term angelic isn't really around.
At least you didn't have to listen to the fucking holy choir for a couple seconds. Ugh.
Ugh. Yes,
Like
I
you're
can only
reading a
imagine.
natural.
Those type of choirs always off-put me. But I suppose it is time to inform our friends then. Norun then walks back to the others. They can tell it's him based off his outfit is still the same, and all that really happened was a color shift. But it also shifted the colors of his flame blade. It changed to how his hair is. The deep blues, light blues, and deep purples.
As you are walking back over to your allies, Nor, and you have already had an opportunity to speak with your ally about the changing tides, I give you an opportunity. Do you wish to interact with anybody else for the last 2 minutes of roleplay, or do you head out towards the glimmering portal?
Norun wants to go to Niram and Mycella and basically just explain what's going on.
You know what? I'll put about 3 more minutes on the clock then, one for each of you. You guys go on ahead and have a little bit of fun with it, and we'll bring it on after.
Well, my friends, it does look like we have another mission. That is why I've donned a new look.
So you shed your skin like a snake.
I suppose you could say it like that.
Mm.
But our friend Nasha knows more about it, but I'm sure we will be filled in along the way. For now, I recommend, if you have the ability to using your magic, to, I'd say, look more the part, like me and our friend Nasha.
I prefer to look like myself.
Yes, but I'd recommend at least a color change in the outfit.
I snap my fingers and my clothes become white.
Marcella just looks and is like, okay, and snaps her fingers. Her hair immediately becomes bright white. Eyes become ice blue, and she becomes very ethereal. Does this look the part?
I'd say it does, based on the fact that Nasha said I look the part. So, shall we be on our way then?
I'm game. Always looking for a
we
good
must,
time.
we must.
With that, I believe if the other two agree, clock end.
Literally right as 1 minute and 59 seconds. So literally a minute shaved off, ladies and gents. But beautifully done. So I would say that Niram, Mycella, and yourself, Norun, are making your way out from where you originally saw Nasha coming in.
I know that I am. I can't speak for the others. It's my turn, not theirs.
Well, it's based on conversation, but it seems like you're leading the pack in that direction, right?
Then, yeah.
So you make your way slowly, with a confident stride, mind you, out of the archway, and you see that there is a glimmering portal opened in the floor. You see that there's chromatic colors, golden clouds, and an unfortunate choir of voices ringing out through the floor. How do you address that?
Can I do an investigation on the portal? Because Norun
Why,
is
yes,
from around
you
these
can.
parts. He needs as much data as he can.
You can, but see, this is Arcana. This is not traditional knowledge. So you're going to have to do an Arcana check on the portal.
Okay.
That's a nat 20 from the DM! Holy crap, I wasn't expecting that at all! Wow. Okay, I just dropped the dice on the table and it landed a 20. Jeez.
Did it not roll at all, or did it just drop on 20?
Oh no, it rolled. It did a whole 180 and just slapped on that 20.
That's great. That's good for you. Let's see what I roll.
That's great,
Can you fit
DM. That's
on
great
rolling
for you. We
platform?
love it when you succeed. What is it?
I don't know. I have to roll it again because it just went right off my platform.
Oh no! Try again from the top. 3, 2. Here comes a 5.
That's a 19.
Ooh. All you can tell from this portal is that it seems to be connected to like the upper realm, right? It seems to be connected to where divinity and where magic of the light comes from. You can feel that it is a plane of light. And as the light beams go over your flame-like body, it changes the colors a little bit where it interacts with.
Out of curiosity, Norun just holds out his hand and a very tiny flame just appears. He's just curious to see what will happen.
As you pop the little flame into existence, do you pass it through the little like aura field of the portal?
Yes.
The flame changes from purple to a golden pinkish hue.
Fascinating. Well, technically I do know that this wouldn't be correct for most people. But in the end, how it is for me. Well, if things go bad, I suppose I shall see a few of you in Valhalla. He just fucking falls backwards into the portal.
Little flame in your hand as you fall behind. It's like, I'm going! You pass through the texture of the portal. Mycella and Neram, do you choose to enter the portal in a similar fashion, or do you go in rationally by walking?
I
That's
run in
Sir.
safe. Okay, and just jump in.
So Neram jumps in. Mycella, how do you choose to enter the portal?
I sprint through.
You sprint through. Both of your bodies pass through. It's almost like a physical sensation of a wall of heat and light pass through you. And that'll bring our perspective to you, Mycella. For as you pass through and you feel the light upon you, you notice that even your hair is starting to glow with a slight golden hue. The winds themselves seem to be keeping you aloft, keeping you floating slowly and gently in place. As in front of you, you see endless expanses of clouds, the sounds of angelic choir off in the distance, ringing out some hymn or another that you're not familiar with. But the voices are in perfect time. You sense an almost eerie amount of tranquility and peace, as if the very notion of discord cannot exist in this space. It's an almost overwhelming sensation of light to you. But you notice that it seems to be supercharging you a little bit. So much light that your body is used to taking in for energy. It's almost more than you're used to. You feel giddy, filled to the brim with the essence of life. You've never felt so alive. But what do? You are basically in free fall, and there's a large central cloud mass below you. There seems to be various buildings made of beams of light and crystalline structures.
Is Naram or Norun near me?
Yes, they are within 5 foot of you, also in the same free fall-like state.
Okay, I want to reach out to Naram and cast Virtue.
Absolutely. Please explain what virtue does. That way others who are not as familiar may understand.
You touch one creature, imbuing it with vitality. You give it temporary hit points equal to 1d4 plus spellcasting modifier. Temporary hit points are lost when spell ends.
Makes sense. How many temporary HP does Niram gain due to your actions?
That's a 4 plus 5.
All right. Niram gains an extra 5 points of HP as your virtue sinks into their skin and helps protect them as often as an armor from against the world. You are in the free fall. You are heading towards the ground. It is approaching you. Not dangerously fast, but it is definitely approaching. It'll only be a quick moment or two before you reach the ground itself. What do you choose to do? You have cast Virtue.
I am going to pull myself into myself and just like talk and hope and pray that I roll and don't get hurt too badly.
Understandable. Please roll for me a dexterity save, and I'll give you advantage due to tucking into a protective ball. That's a 4 from the DM.
25.
Almost negligently, you start kind of like, as you have rolled into a ball, your motion begins to turn with the wind. And it's just enough for you to catch yourself on one of the nearby crystalline structures and slide down effortlessly, landing to a skidding halt on your feet. You take no damage, but you are now standing at the very basin of this town structure, which is built of crystalline buildings and golden rays of light that are taking hard forms of sculptures. Everything is far larger compared to your normal size, as if the lands of the gods themselves have no concept of what size should be.
I'd like to do a perception check
Okay.
to assess my
In regards to what?
surroundings. Really to just take in. I wanna. Yeah, I want to understand my surroundings a little bit better.
Absolutely. That's a 7 from the DM. I have a feeling you're going to smash this one too.
That is a dirty 20.
On a dirty 20, your eyes start to take in the architecture and the landscape near you. There are large cathedral-like buildings, all made out of this crystalline light structure. It's almost like a purified quartz. It's pure to the point where there's no imperfections. And you can see atop each structure there is a symbol to one of the gods or demons of the realm. You can see that though the demons' doors have long been sealed and there are chains around them to deny them entry, it seems as if all of the divine of the realm may have entry points to this space. There are currently 50 separate buildings, and you see around roughly 10 of them have chains across them. But the other 40 seem to be perfectly fine. There's large churches, there's shrines, there's market stalls, there are buildings where people seem to be living in sleeping quarters, mass amounts of them. Large bunk-style beds lining the walls. Like, you can see through the building. There's no concept of privacy here. There is no concept of hiding anything from these individuals. Everything is seen all the time. You get a general sense of overwhelming security, almost as if this plane never expects anything bad to happen.
I gingerly take a few steps forward.
As you do, you feel that the branch inside of your lapel, the elder branch that you have gained previously, seems to be vibrating unusually. Do you choose to address it?
I do.
As you grab the branch from inside your lapel and you hold it aloft, a small, thin beam of light emits from one end, off into the distance, and in the central spireway, almost like the main entryway to the town, something begins to appear. Little crystalline light structures begin to bend and fade, as a certain tree makes itself apparent to you. Its very leaves made out of glimmering crystals, its branches made out of growing light and life force. Before you stands what you've only ever heard of in myth, believed to be the very cultural start of your people, the mother tree. They who connect the universe to all roots. You feel an almost sense of welcome from the branch in your possession as it guides you towards the tree. What do?
I approach the tree.
As you approach the tree, you see that there's a singular scar-like mark in the shape of a missing branch.
I look down at the piece in my hand and I try to hold it up next to the tree to see if this is the piece that was taken.
As you hold the piece up to the tree, little tendrils of light wrap around it and slowly snap it back into place. And you see what was once weathered, decayed, and dead has become brand new, filled with life and light. A singular crystalline apple forms from the broken branch. And you have a sense as if the tree wants you to grab this apple.
I reach out and I take it.
Within your hand is often called the apple of knowledge. For those of a mortal mind that eat of this apple, divine knowledge is flooded into their senses and into their heart. As you grasp the apple, you see there's a small opening in the base of the glimmering tree, just large enough for you.
Crawl in.
Your audio broke on that. Could you repeat that, please?
I guess I crawl in or whatever into this little space.
As you slowly worm your way inside the hunk and into the trunk of the tree, there's a small hollow space inside, and written upon the walls is the language of your ancestors. And it says to you, and I quote, "To ye whom find the soul tree, know that the true tree of beginning may be reborn from a singular seed." And inside a small cluster is a glimmering silver and gold-like seed.
I take this seed and I wrap it in a cloth and tuck it into my components pouch.
As you tuck the seed into your pouch, the tree around you begins to break up into little motes of light. You hear the whispering, trailing off voice of a farewell as the representation of the soul tree, of the mother tree, fades from this realm. Its next stage of evolution passed on to the seed you hold in your inventory. You are now the bearer of the world tree. And as the seed has crossed into your possession, you see a glimmering mark on your hand.
I'm going to talk to the seed and I'm going to be like, look, little buddy, we've got big plans. You've got a great destiny ahead of you. We just got to get through this together. And I stick it in my pocket.
What you fail to notice as you're talking to the seed, a singular imprint of an eye watching you slowly closes in contentment as it is tucked into your inventory. The spirit of nature is watching and so far approves. But it does leave you now standing in the very center of a central courtyard, glimmering crystalline buildings all around you, shrines to the gods, some chained off to not allow demons entry. Where do you address yourself next, I wonder?
I want to turn around and see if Norun and Naram have made it to the ground yet.
Ironically, as you look upwards is when you notice Niram and Norun slowly floating down as if the very winds of the realm have laid them slowly to safety. They land with a little bit of a thump, a little bit of dust kicked up from the landing itself, but they are completely unharmed.
I would like to roleplay.
Absolutely. I'll put about 6 minutes on the clock and let you three have some fun with it. Enjoy!
Did you guys see the tree that I was with?
No, I was too busy looking at my white outfit.
I've seen it.
Yeah, you're awfully bright. That's disturbing.
Yes, it is.
I pull the seed from my pouch and I present it and I'm just like,
if I may.
Yes, you may. This is the seed of my people. The mother tree, the thing that connects us all. I am in
You're
possession
saying you're a
of.
tree.
Yeah, no, I'm not a tree. No, I'm not a tree. No, no, no.
May I take a closer look at that seed? I am curious.
Absolutely. Be careful with it, please.
Norrin just takes it
Talking
very
trash.
gently. DM, I know it's not my turn, but can I run investigation?
I will pause the time on the clock in the world. Yes, I will allow you to do a target investigation. What are you trying to investigate?
The seed.
That'll be a knowledge arcana check. You're going to have disadvantage to not being from the realm for which it originates. And that is a 17 from the DM for your challenge.
Hey, 20. I rolled a net 20.
On a 20, you notice that held within the seed is literally the essence of creation itself. And there's a small symbol laid upon it. You know this to be the symbol of Gaia, spirit of all that is nature and life. And the same symbol has been etched onto the back of Mycella's hand where she grasped at the original branch and interacted with the tree that faded. And time is resumed to you now.
Fascinating. I know what the tree is, but I cannot help my fascination in how much it reminds me of Yggdrasil. I'm sorry, I realize you probably don't know what that means. He just hands
No, I
Marcel
don't.
gently the seed back. Allow me to explain. Yggdrasil in my land is known as the Tree of Life. It is the thing that holds all 9 realms together. Each realm is housed upon its branches, or roots, depending on the realm.
Well, you see, the mother tree is what we all come from, and we must return to her once we pass from this world. And I am going to protect her.
So you are part tree.
I will try my
I'm
best.
not part tree.
I will try my best to help, even though I know my abilities are more flame-related.
Yes, keep your flames away from my precious seed.
Well, unless you look at the one sword I have now due to that drink.
And I would like to cast. I would like Northern, place your blade on the ground for me, if you don't mind. I would rather not hurt you in this moment.
He places down the sword.
I cast. This is a long shot, but you know what? It's all fun and games. We're gonna cast Firebolt at it, and maybe it'll do something.
As the blade has been laid down, it sticks vertically out of the ground, being held by its own shimmering sword-like structure. A small, thin flame is keeping it aloft. It cannot move any closer nor further to Norrun until you all move location. A small barrier of light has been erupted around it, and it cannot pass the plane in order to return to you yet until it is dropped. As this is occurring, our perspective will turn to Niram. So Niram, one of your allies has put their weapon down in request. You can see that Mycella is very protective of the enchanted seed she has in her possession. You can very easily identify the mark of Gaia upon her palm lighting up in response to her defensive position. So various things are happening around this realm. But where do we draw your eye? Is it to one of the cathedrals? Is it to one of the shrines? Where do we find you?
I want to check my surroundings.
Do for an investigation if you would. Do better than a 13.
14.
On a 14, you notice that you are in a central courtyard-like structure, right? Because there's like various roads that connect all off to these large crystalline shrines and glass-like buildings everywhere. You can see that there's about 40 different shrines to the gods that are available, and 10 that are currently wrapped in blackened chains, as if holding something back, or keeping something from entering, almost. You can see that there was a small fountain here that was previously in the shape of something, but there seems to be nothing left. It's all flat stone now. All you see is that there's a vague outline from where light had changed and discolored the nearby marble structure.
I just look at Maricela and Rune, and I'm still looking at my outfit, shaking my head. So I make my way to the temple.
I will give you an option to choose between temples. So, give me just a second to bring up my reference guide. One moment. I go to there, and then I go to... So, there are 4 immediate shrines. I'm going to need you to roll for me a d4, and I will determine which divine you head towards.
A 2?
Oh, ironic. You head
Why is that
towards a
ironic?
large crystal, because it's a large crystalline building that's releasing large chromatic types of light in varying intensities and various wavelengths. You are heading towards
Son of a bitch.
Avastros, Lord of Radiance.
Can I stop halfway and then turn around, or no?
I mean, if you really want to, I can let you roll for another shrine.
Yeah, fuck it. Let me roll for another shrine.
All right. So this time, remove the 2 from your D4.
A 1.
As you have spun on a dime,
bitch.
so have you changed your fate. For you are heading to the shrine of Elune, Mistress of Fate. You see an inscription written on the outside of one of the main pillars. All within the third eye and abilities of the mind draw homage to Elune. Her thoughts raced into the multiverse, giving expanded minds existence. The eye of all forever watches, waiting to be called upon when fate is in danger once more. Seems the eye of fate is drawing you as you decided to try and change your own. You do notice something is calling you from the building, though. An almost subconscious desire to explore. Also, you could easily make your way there.
I go in.
As you go in, all the sound from the outside areas comes to an immediate hush. You see there are robed figures, about 100 strong, lining in pews, sitting with their heads down, small mumbles of prayer that you can't really make out the words being said. It's in a language you are not familiar with, but you feel the presence of the divine in this room. You feel the ever-watchful eye of fate is looking upon you with interest today. You are within the realm of fate itself. Where do you take action?
So, since it's a language I do not know, can I use forbidden knowledge?
It seems as if the warring police is trying to tell us we should be aware of this role. But yes, I will allow you to try and use forbidden knowledge to identify the language that is being spoken.
Alright, let me roll. Nat 20.
You understand that this is the language of the angels. This is celestial. And you hear them saying over and over in a monotonous drone, beware the eye of fate, beware the eye of fate, beware the eye of fate, beware the eye of fate. And as they say this over and over, you see literal bands of energy releasing from each person in time with their mantra, heading towards the main central structure inside the shrine, which is in the form of a large rotating eye.
I mutter to myself, in Dendar's name, protect me.
As you utter the name Dendar in the realm of fate, you notice that there's a disquieted murmur that goes along the crowd. The flames inside the hall darken. The eye upon the still turns and glares at you.
What? Did I say something wrong?
You notice eerily that outside, one of the gates with the blackened chain begins to rattle, and the chain begins to sway.
I wanna check the Arcana on it. By any chance?
You want to try and check Arcana on the door?
Yeah, see if there's any magic on it. Most likely there is. Especially since, celestial shit.
Roll better than a 19.
Fuck. Alright, 19.
For matching the DM, you notice that, yes, there is indeed magic. And in this realm, words become life. By speaking the name, you begin to manifest them in this realm. Hence, the door has rattled with the chains. Dendar is an entity that is held from entering the realm of the divine.
But since she's the most powerful of the Great Old, I make my way towards the door.
You leave the Shrine of Fate, and you have an ominous sense that something is about to happen. But you make your way towards the gate with the chain. And much to your surprise, you do indeed see the symbol of Dendar.
Underneath my mask, I smile and I end my turn.
And that brings us to Ichiro. Ichiro, you are still back in Draven's Manor, having imbibed in some of the bitterberry, which has left you in a state of enjoyed relaxation and inebriation. So you are still with some of your allies back near the buffet. What do you do, I wonder? Do you still choose to imbibe in the drink and good food? Or do you head out of the room? I'm ever so curious. Did we lose you by chance? Ichiro?
Oh, sorry, my bad. I was helping my husband with something.
It's all right. My audio also distorted due to the internet blipping, so I wanted to ensure that it wasn't just another incident like that. So you have been enjoying yourself with the bitterberry juice, still very much keeping you intoxicated. You are in the buffet hall where the large tray of food is still out and the drinks are still merry. You notice that some of your allies have long left the area, but some of them are still nearest to you right now. What do you choose to do? Do you stay near your allies and enjoy more food, or do you head out into the central chamber of Draven's Manor?
Probably say that right now, considering what I'm currently going through, I've probably got the munchies from hell, so I'm probably gonna grab some more food.
All right, so you're easily able to grab another rock of dango that causes you no issue whatsoever. It is a little sticky, just the right amount of flavor and umami. You are nomming away without an issue. Is there anything you notice? Do you wish to do an investigation check? Do you wish to initiate a role play with another player? Do tell.
How do I want to do this? Okay, thank you, I guess. Wasn't needing my drawing tablet right now, but cool.
The universe has spoken. Where does it guide you?
Think I'm probably gonna take my dongo and head into the main chamber and see what all's going on in there.
As you grab your dongo along the stick, and you slowly nibble on it as you make your way out, you see that there's a glowing portal in the floor, and on the other side, you see that there's glowing chromatic clouds, various wavelengths of light being emitted, and the unfortunate background sound of an angelic choir playing off in the distance. You also notice that there is an unusual distortion in the air, as if you could interact with it if you so chose.
At this point, Ichiro's assuming he's tripping balls, and is probably going to try to mess with it, because why not?
Which one, the distortion or the glimmering portal?
We'll start with the distortion first, and then work our way over to the portal, I think.
Well, as you have chosen the glimmering distortion, as your hand passes through it, you feel an almost pulling sensation upon your body. 1 second you're standing within Draven's Manor, and the next, You're within the ruins of a former town, surrounded by tall glowing mushrooms and glowing runes upon their stalks. The sounds of nature are literally assaulting you. You have appeared within a formerly thriving town structure, but now seems to be burnt remains and smoldering ashes. You see a half-erect sign that says Stockston.
How did I get here?
You find you
I'm
are
gonna
not
go
far
up.
from the distortion.
Roll an investigation, I think. See what the heck's going on here.
Please do and roll better than a 17 from the DM.
And I include my bonus from my sheet, right?
Yes, you do.
Or no? Okay. So 2
you do.
plus exactly 17.
On matching the DM, you notice that there's nothing more than stars in the sky. There are no clouds. There is no generalized moon. You can't even understand the constellations because they're not matching with any from your homeland. As far as your eye can see, there is miles upon miles these glowing stalk-like mushrooms. Varying intensities of colors radiating off them, some taller, some smaller. The sounds of nature itself assault you as the cries of animals you've never heard before assault your senses. The ground shakes every now and then as if something massive in the distance is deciding to move. You see off in the far distance that there is indeed a mountain structure beyond some of the glowing stalks, and billowing smoke seems to appear from it, but no clouds form in the sky. All you can see is a dull glow from the volcanic action at a distance. As your eyes rake in the area, you see that you are in what used to be a fairly large town structure. It seems to be ravaged by some large creature in flames. And your eyes are drawn to that half-burnt sign that says Stockston. You have somehow come to a town nestled in the center of an unusual glowing woods.
Why does this look like something out of that one video game I used to play? Wyvern's Quest. Trippy.
That is great. What do you choose to do now that you are in the former remains of Stockston?
Might as well investigate some of the building remains.
I will give you an option, building A, building B, or building C. So if you wish, you can select that, or roll a dice to determine which one you go into.
Don't think there's a D3, so that's out. Let's go
No,
for
you can
B.
use
Why
a
not?
D6. Okay, well, as you select B, you come up to what seems to be the remains of some sort of inn. You can see there's some damaged rooms off in the distance, former remains of a bed or two here or there, lower landing where it used to be maybe performances or food was served. But much to your surprise, you see a little bit of rubble moving, and shallowed breathing assaults your ears. A singular, darkened hand makes its way out of the rubble, feeling around for purchase of freedom.
Hey, alright. I'm gonna run over and try to help them.
I will allow you to pull them from the wreckage. A couple of moments of you moving debris, you're easily able to grasp onto their forearm and start to pull them out. As our eye in the sky pops over to our next player, Mirth.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is it you choose to do, my good friend?
Well, I would have seen.
You chose not to imbibe. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely did not imbibe. That was definitely something I wasn't going to do. But I saw all my cohorts that I came here with go through the shiny death portal, right?
Yes, you definitely saw some of your allies run through the glimmering golden portal.
I would look around. I would flip Draven the bird, and I would just jump into the portal.
Draven's demeanor almost darkens a little bit before you jump. What is your armor class? A 19, I believe?
That is correct.
I matched your 19. On a match, you see that there is now a blackened glyph that has been formed on your upper right lapel. And you see that it's Draven's personal symbol. As you pop through the portal, and you are now free falling down towards this crystalline town-like structure within the clouds, you hear a voice in the back of your mind.
Flip me the bird, I'll flip you one worse. I've got my eye on you, and it ain't going off anytime soon. Call it my little insurance policy to make sure everything goes off without a hitch.
I would say, haha, that's cool, eat a dick. And then I would just go about my business.
The voice in the back of your mind recedes for a little bit, grumbling as you are making your way down towards the city structure. I'll say, due to the nature of this land, when you land, you will take no damage. It doesn't take you more than a couple of moments of free fall before you are on the ground floor.
Cool. I would go find my allies.
Please roll for your investigation to see if you can notice any of your allies in the nearby vicinity. Net a 12 from the DM.
It's going to be an 11.
The only ally that you are able to currently sense near you is Niram, who is currently making his way towards a door with blackened chains on the outside. Do you choose to initiate roleplay?
Yeah, why not?
All right, I'll put a couple minutes on the clock and let you guys have some fun with it. Enjoy.
I would walk up to Norroon, like, where are you going, bud?
Nowhere. I say with a smile underneath my mask and nobody can see.
That door looks awful ominous.
It's not ominous at all. Trust me.
Cool. Well, in that case, if you want some company, let's go do it.
I prefer to do this alone, if you don't mind.
No, I should. And then I would walk off looking for others. And while I did that, I would say out loud, "Hey, Bird Brain, where are my friends?"
A little blackened wisp appears from off of your shoulder, Mirth. And you see, you are given the finger by a miniature Aarakocra, but then they gesture over their shoulder to where you see there's a small kind of central gathering area, and you can see that Mycella is there, as well as Norun. They are both in a nearby area, while Niram has made his way towards one of the doors with the blackened and the chain holding along the outside.
I would like wave my hand through the Aarakocra smoke, and then make my way and just see what's going on with my Norroon. I would just kind of hang back because, from what I can tell, it appears they're having a moment. So I'll just hang back.
I understand entirely. Is there anything else you'd like to do, my friend?
No, I think that's it.
All right, beautiful. And as you are looking for your allies, kind of addressing the situation, watching them go through the motions a little bit, our perspective will pop to Magnus, who has been booking it up this long-ass tower, made it up the first couple of flights, had to take a break at a very, very unfortunately decorated room that just gave you the ick. But here's your chance to make it to the top of the tower. Is that where I presume you're headed?
Indeed.
With all the momentum of a freight train, you continue to book it up these stairs, literally leaving cracks within the stonework as you go. With a couple of moments of huffing it and high-speed running, you make it to the top of the landing, where you see an almost glass dome-like structure with a large magnifying glass and a view lens, a stargazer as you know this, or telescope as the average person would call this, sticking out of the top. Seems to be there's an observatory of types at the top of the tower. And within, you hear a very off-tune hum as someone seems to be working within the structure. It is not very good pitched or tuned. It is rattling the glass every now and then on a sour note.
I'd like to inform her of my presence before she like blasts me with something blast me with something for get scared.
As you make your presence known, all noise within the observatory stops. And a pair of staccato-sounding footsteps starts to make their way towards the entrance. At first, their form is blurred, and you cannot make them out clearly until they get a little closer. You see large, colorful plumage, a large crown of feathers sticking out along the nape, being held up along by an aristocratic-style dress. You see that there's large medallions, a couple of them hanging from the neck, embossed jewels upon their hands, just barely touching the tips of the talons. You see a little touch of brush along the beak structure. They hold themselves in imperial gaze as they glare down at you.
And you're just as short as they told me. What is it you want here? I'm busy.
All right,
Going on the record, I warned you, I can't do a female voice. Warned you. Warned you.
all right. Your feathers shine of such a dark, chromatic brilliance that could make a moon god Luna. That could make the moon god Luna jealous. Your eyes are beautiful, smoky amethyst. Your eyes are beautiful, smoky amethyst that the finest alchemists, dead or alive, can't replicate it within centuries of experimentation. Mrs. Regretta, from the bottom of my blood-soaked heart, I ask you to marry me.
Regretta takes a moment to regard you, looking you up and down. You're gonna have to do a charisma check.
I know.
By the way, I will probably be finding another person to do the voice of this character for the future, because this is hurting me as the DM as much as it's hurting you as the player. That's an 18 on charisma.
Oh yeah, you already know I got that. Haven't failed with an 18 so far. So with the plus 1, 19.
On a 19, you see that she kind of puffs at you a little bit.
Look, I can't make no promises to marriage till after I'm out of this contract, but maybe we could talk about it. You'll have to come back at some point in the future. You're not bad looking, you're good on the eyes, but I'm just too busy for a man.
What help you may need.
She didn't say no. She just said she's too busy right now.
I offer her help in whatever the crap she's doing.
As you slowly kind of walk your way into her chambers, she like beckons you with a singular talon, leading you almost by the hook and nose into her chambers. Our eye in the sky pops to one Nasha, who has donned a very intricate disguise for heading to the land of light. Nasha, we come to you for your mission. How do you choose to enter the portal, and where do you choose to head?
She'll walk in to the portal, and then as she's like going down, wonder if this is gonna work, and then wings pop out as she flies down looking for that contact she's supposed to find.
Your wings easily open and unfurl, catching some of the divine winds within the realm. You easily glide away from the main structure. A couple of meters, couple more meters, almost a whole kilometer away, before you land right outside one of the gates with blackened chains. You see the symbol for the letter Omega atop. And standing not far from there is an almost inconspicuous looking cherub. They are very small in stature, long flowing silver hair, very tall, could easily be mistaken for a pixie, if not for the angelic halo sticking out above their head. You know this to be Pick, one of your contacts in the upper realm.
Also,
They
as she
kind of
lands,
wave you over
in
into
her head. Holy shit, that worked. Because imps can't normally fly.
As you land, you kind of have a chance to take a look at Pick. Up close, you notice that they are very similar to you. The magic that's holding their disguise on is almost barely being held intact being so close to this gate. Your own disguise starts to flicker just a little bit, but not enough for anyone to notice.
She'll give a soft smile and a wink. Oh, hey there, Pig. Long time no see.
You're telling me I've been waiting here all week for you. What, you couldn't get done with Draven any faster?
Let's just say I had a bit of a monstrous hiccup to deal with.
Yeah, that's what you said last century. When are you ever gonna stop with all these fanciful stories? First was a giant, then it was a chimera. What was it this time? A glow stalk? Would it jump out of the ground and say hi, how you doing?
No. It was a giant mimic.
I was being sarcastic. Never mind. Look, if you want to cause the most amount of destruction, you don't want to do it from this gate. You see your little ally over there in the white getup?
At which the little pixie kind of like points his finger, and you see that there is indeed Niram standing outside of another chained gate.
That one. The one who looks like he's got something bad up his sleeve.
Yeah, that guy right there.
Yeah, he's almost ready to set the trap himself. All you gotta do, light the fuse.
Oh, that'll be quite easy.
I'll give you the trigger word. Make sure you have him say it. That way it don't come back on you or anybody else.
With that, he gives an overly exaggerated winking motion with his whole body. Like he's not good at being undercover at all.
Oh, God.
He hands over a tiny little slip of paper, and on it, written in Infernal that only you and those from the Underrealm can read, is the word Dendar, the Destroyer.
With that, she's going to head over to that gate.
The wings of the upper realm alight to you, and you very easily glide upon the currents of light and wholesomeness, much as it makes you feel revulsed. It's like it's almost as if as soon as you lift off, the choir kind of livens up a little bit and ascends with you. That following as you go up into the light a little bit.
Just
What would your
turtle-
reaction to that be,
Just internally, just like, oh God, I'm gonna fucking barf.
Nash? You fly your way over to where you see Niram outside of the glimmering doorway with the blackened chain, and you see that it's kind of rattling a little bit, and there's a tiny little crack in one of the links of the chain. What do?
Hey, Niram. Found you a little something, did you?
Why would you like to know?
Oh. Seems just we both have a bit of a same point of interest.
Interest of what?
Obligation.
Look, little imp. What
She
do you
kind of
need?
raises a hand straight to her face.
Don't call me that here, else you want to get my ass on a pike. Got it?
I look down at her.
No, technically,
I
right now
whisper.
you look up.
Oh, I look
Remember,
up
she's in
at you.
disguise.
I whisper. Imp.
Well, I twitch.
That's great.
I was
That is
told
great.
to give this to you. Let you handle a little fun.
Nasha hands over
I
a
just-
slip of paper to you.
I grab it. I don't even pay it no mind. I slide it into my inner pocket. I just put my hand on the door and just open it and smile underneath my mask.
So you put the note in your pocket and you go up to try and open the door with the blackened chain on it?
Yep.
Now, should you choose to help him open the door with the blackened chain on it?
She's just gonna step back. It's your funeral. And she's gonna whisper the word as she flies back.
You're going to whisper the trigger word. As Niram goes to open the door, Niram, this door is voice activated. And you've already seen it react to a certain word. Roll for me Arcana. I rolled that one! Oh no! No! This is the one I was going to roll that one on.
God.
No!
I rolled a 3.
You say the name, if you would, please.
Dendar, the Night Serpent.
As you utter the full name of Dendar, the chain unravels with a large snapping clank noise. The door darkens to a pitch black. They open internally. You see bands of blackened light begin to enter the heavenly realm that you're in, and it starts to clash with the light. You see lightning and storms everywhere, angels being pulled into a cyclonic wind, as inside the doorway releases a large gaping maw similar to a dragon's in long snouts and snarling teeth, flames alight in their eyes and their gouging nostrils. For Dendar begins to enter the realm of the divine and corrupts it with their very presence. Where once were perfectly wholesome cherubs, now are small flying succubi and imps. Incubi themselves dancing and singing songs of the praises of the dead. The realm of below has come to take over the realm from above. And you, my wonderful adventurers, are stuck in the center of cataclysmic events. And flying above it all, with an almost sadistic glee in their eyes, is one Nasha, while Niram on the surface smiles in sadistic glee as his very patron begins to arise to the realm once more. And that is where we end our session tonight.